Coming to you from the Rythmia Life Advancement Center, Guanacaste, Costa Rica, the world's only life advancement center that's legally licensed from a medical license to serve ayahuasca. The only one in the world. And what is this place? This place is a center where people come from all over the world. Over 23,000 people have come here to this little dot on a map in this beautiful part of Costa Rica. And they enter a 7-day life-changing process. How do I know it's life-changing and what's involved? Well, the process involves 4 days of ayahuasca, workshops, about 20 hours worth of workshops, individual coaching, group coaching, breath work, yoga, meditation, farm-to-table organic food, amazing cleanse called the Dead Sea Cleanse. And all of this put together in this week that produces this crazy result. What is the result? Well, 98.07% of all the people that have come here report a life-changing miracle during their stay. Better yet, at 6 months, they get another survey. 90.22%, so it's 90 out of 100, say that this was the week that changed their life 6 months after they've been here. Because of that, we get all kinds of people. We get A-listers of all descriptions. So we get Hall of Fame athletes, world champion athletes. We get famous movie stars. We get race car drivers. We get business people, lots of billionaires, and then famous business people and musicians and actors and actresses, and a lot of people from the entertainment sector, and a lot of people from the personal development sector that come here. And then normal people just like you and me come here, have this crazy week. Because of this, a lot of the people that have come have decided to join our board to help spread the message of Rythmia. People like Michael Bernard Beckwith, Kelly Slater, Cesar Millan, Martin Luther King's son, Martin, Ron White, the comedian, Tony Coe, the business lady, Iyanla Vanzant from Oprah Winfrey Network, Jack Canfield, one of the world's greatest selling authors of all time, Frank Biden, Joe Biden's brother, Mark Kielberger, social entrepreneur, New York Times bestselling author, Earl Koski, the American businessman, Brandy Sabella, Kim Terranova, and Jeff McNary all came to join this board and to spread this message and change the world. Why do these people come here? Like, if you understand who these people are, like Cesar Millan, why did he come here? He could go anywhere in the world he wanted to go, right? Why here? Because his people vetted us, right? So when you think about Frank Biden joining our board of directors while his brother was the sitting president of the United States, if you think they didn't do their homework, you're out of your mind. You don't understand how it works, right? So all these people pick us, and they pick us because at the end of the day, it's the safest, it's the best, and it works. And that's the truth. And is it easy? Absolutely, positively not. It's the hardest thing you might ever do. Not hard in the way you're thinking it's hard. Not hard in like, oh, am I going to see spooky shit that makes me lose my shit? Not hard in that way. Although on occasion that happens, right? But moreover, it's hard because I have to look at myself as not as I'm seen from inside, but as I'm seen from outside. I really have to take a look at what I have become. It's the hardest thing in the world. It breaks most people, and it's designed to, because from that broken state, you can re-merge. You can merge with your soul again and be brand new. And that is the absolute truth. That's what happens here. And I have to tell you, these people, the Slaters, Cesar Millan, they're doing this for free. They're helping us for free. They're being a part of it for free, right? To spread the message of this place throughout the world, which they've done in a great way. I have amazing Rythmia news coming next week. It's the first time in 4 years that I put out exciting, new, and world-changing news, and it's coming next week. For this little broadcast here, I want to talk about what happens to folks after Rythmia. The overwhelming vast majority, in the high 90s of percentile, decide after they had their week here and they had this soul merger that they want to do something a little different with their life. They want to do something in a little bit of a different way. And what is that? They want to become a beneficial presence on the planet. And what does that mean? That means that because I spoke to God and saw God, and God spoke to me for the first time in my life and explained to me that it's been speaking to me my whole life and that I'm a part of it. Once I get that, then the next realization for me is that this life that I'm living, that just a week ago looked awfully burdensome, is a gift beyond all gifts. And I want to take this opportunity and make myself a beneficial presence on the planet. I want to be in service to God. I want to make my imprint on the earth better than when I came. I want to leave it in better shape than when I found it. How do I do that? There's a trillion different ways. You can do it by becoming the best doctor that you can be. If you're a doctor, you can do it by becoming the best lawyer you can be. You can do it by becoming the best investment banker you can be, if you're an investment banker. You also might get the vision to change professions, and you might become the best yoga instructor, the best healer, the best cook, the best restaurateur, the best in-home designer, the best architect, the best whatever. There's a million ways to do it. But it becomes clear once you see it. Until you see it, everything is covered in fog. And once you see it in clarity, it can't be unseen. It can be abandoned, but it can't be unseen. So this act of becoming a beneficial presence on the planet will be the hardest thing you'll ever do. The hardest. It will be its own journey and ceremony for the rest of your life. And it will bring you more rewards than you could ever imagine. What are just some of those rewards? The reward of having a life full of satisfaction. Not up and down, not drunk and hangover and orgasm and regret, or whatever these swings are. Not that, but this consistent daily, I am satisfied, I am involved in something bigger than myself, and I am making a change. Now, in order to do that, you need a bunch of tools. You really do, because it's like saying, hey, I'm going to walk around the earth. I'm going to walk across the earth. I'm going to take the 22,000-mile hike. It's a real life changer, right? And this book talks about how to do that successfully. I'm going to give you today the abridged version, and then over the next few weeks, I'm going to go into some of these in detail, right? So, the first part about this is that you want to pick this place of how you want to become a beneficial presence. You want to do that from a merged space. What does that mean? After you come to rythmia and you have this soul merger, that's when to pick. Because if you're picking before then, if you're picking from a fractured soul, you might be picking to impress Dave, your neighbor, or Barbara at the bank, or your mom, or your Uncle Leo, or whoever, or people you haven't even met yet. So because when you pick it from the wrong space, it's easy to abandon. It's very easy because you have no grit in it. There's no charge in it, right? But when you pick it from the right place, when you have your experience at rythmia, and on Thursday night, in the all-night ceremony, you ask God what it is that you should do, and it tells you, and that is your thing, and then you go. So picking how you want to become a beneficial presence from a merged part is step one. Like step two is to clearly write that down. And then write several supporting agreements that you make between yourself and your soul. So yourself, your soul / God. You make this agreement and you sign it. The agreement is what I'm going to become, how I'm going to benefit it. Then the agreement to not quit, regardless of conditions precedent. So if the refrigerator breaks, the dog dies, the car is a flat tire, the bank tells you no. One of my friends here, Jack Canfield, wrote a book series called Chicken Soup of the Soul and sold a few copies, like 50 million copies. And he got rejected from publishers 143 times. So his agreement was stronger than that. And the next time they said yes, right? So the agreement not to quit. Agreements on how I'm going to treat this, how I'm going to treat my body. What do I mean by that? What I'm going to feed it, what I'm going to give it to drink, how I'm going to feed my body, because with the quality of our vessel, our physical vessel can determine the trajectory of our path towards becoming a beneficial presence. So we want to feed it and water it a particular way. And that becomes part of the agreement. And then the agreement to move our body to stay healthy, fit and strong. That's part of the agreement. I'm going to go into these things over the next few weeks, each of them one by one. And then the agreement about a daily practice. What is a daily practice? Now, the thing is, these all sound like big things, but the agreement to move the body can be as simple as saying, okay, I'm going to get up at 6:45 and take a 10-minute walk. That can be the start of your movement, right? And then the agreement to have a daily practice. I don't care if that's meditation, breath work, spiritual mind treatments, yoga that combines both. I don't care what it is, but it has to be something, because that will continue to connect you with spirit and with your promise. And the other one that's mandatory is spiritual mind treatments, which you thank God for the things that you have, and you get in the feeling tone. Let's say you have a beautiful brother Tim. I thank you for this beautiful brother Tim, and you get that feeling tone. And then you thank it in the next breath for what you're manifesting that hasn't showed up yet. So I thank you, God, for Rythmia Belgium. It's not even here yet, but I just thanked God for it, right? So it's this way of doing spiritual mind treatments, which are an Ernest Holmes theory, but they're an integral part of this process, right? And then
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
sorry about. I forget what that's Siri. Yeah. And then the last part, which is really, really, really important, is to tithe out of your delta. So one of the things, when you become a beneficial presence in the planet, money issues tend to go away over time because you're rewarded by the goodwill and good deeds that you're bringing into the planet, right? So at some point, you're making more money than you're spending. So let's say that you have this soul merger and you're currently working at a bank, any of the big banks, but you're going to this, God tells you to open a restaurant that has 100% organic food, no preservatives. You get this idea and you're going to do it, right? Well, you do it and you do it so well and you do it with you begin with the end in mind. And 10 years into it, you have a super, super, super successful restaurant. Now at the bank, you were making $70,000 a year. And you made a deal with spirit and yourself and your soul that for all the money you make over $70,000 a year, you're going to tithe 10%, right? So that doesn't mean you're going to give 10% to a church or to, although it might, or to a particular nonprofit, but it's specific to you. I'm going to write that I'm going to give 10% of my money to the United Way or some nonprofit, or that I'm going to give it to the soup kitchen around the corner of my house, whatever it is. That tithing out of your excess is a part of your agreement with the universe. So this is, it looks like a vortex, right? So I'm going to make an agreement, like what I did, to open Rythmia Life Advancement Center for the benefit of all humanity, right? And I did. And then I said, okay, I'm going to take 10% of my delta from what I was making to this new money that's brought in by Rythmia. And I'm going to give that money to, in particular, to my nonprofit in Costa Rica that takes care of the elderly and the young. And I did that. So my loop is complete. And that's a key component to what you have to do. And these are the basics of manifestation through becoming a beneficial presence on the planet. I'm going to get into it with you more next week, but keep that in mind, that these are the steps, and the steps never change. They don't change, right? And because you signed the agreement with yourself to this, you don't stay in bed. You don't break your agreements with you. And if you do break your agreement, let's say you had an agreement to eat a particular way in general, and you made a few bad pizza or processed food decisions, you immediately rectify that because you have an agreement with yourself, right? So these are the things that make it work. Until then, come to Rythmia. Come and live like this is the truth. I'm living what most people would consider a dream. I'm here every week and I get to see 60, 80, 90 people go through this thing and come out crying, getting their life back, having a purpose, becoming a beneficial presence on the planet. Don't miss this magic. We're the best in the world at it. Come here and let it happen to you. See you next week.